And hello again, and day 51 of the 100 Days of Narration Challenge, and this week being Bad Novel Week, or examples of truly terrible English, and apparently I can't do English well anymore. Truly terrible examples of English Literature Week. That's a little bit long. We're probably just going to stick with Bad Novel Week. So for today's particular bad book, I've chosen something which, I don't know, is slightly infamous for being terrible. It's floating. I've seen examples of this floating around, examples of its text floating around on the internets, and and this was a suggestion by someone as well, for me to read when I asked for suggestions for bad novels. Speaking of which, if you can think of any other good novels I could read, or good bad things I could read, feel free to comment in the video. Comment for this video or previous videos, but probably this one and any other videos. Where was I? Oh yes, Barcelona. Anyway, yes, make suggestions, and I will take them under consideration, because I'm rapidly running out of my own library to read, so I will need to have new books to peruse. One or two, anyway. But anyway, today's book is going to be The Shadow God by Aaron Rayburn, which is apparently going for $30 on Amazon. Wow. Yeah, if you think your book is that good. Oh, it's in hardback too. Oh, that's a hardcover version of your book. That's quite impressive. But there is a Kindle version, but I'm not reading the Kindle version. I'm going to instead read the free version. Well, sort of free. It's what do you call it? It's on Amazon. It's a preview version on Amazon, basically, and we're just gonna skip through random page here. Obviously, this is not going to be. Okay. Right. Okay, this is going to be difficult because it doesn't give me all the pages. It just gives like a couple of random pages in general. So this is going to be difficult to do. Well, let's it skips around everywhere. Damn. I was hoping for several pages in a row that I could read, but wait. We can do this. We can do this thing that I'm speaking of right now. Okay, so we're going to go to page. Damn it, still skipping around. Okay. We'll do 336 onwards. Okay. So the book is The Shadow God by Aaron Rayburn. Oh wait, is there? Well, hold on. Let me read the blurb first. Sorry, I should have done that first. Okay. Oh gods and Comic Sans. Why would you... The back... Oh! Okay, I'm back. Okay, let's read the blurb. Craig Johnson had two best friends, two caring parents, a hot girlfriend, and a nice truck. Not bad for a 20-year-old, you son of a bitch. You have a better life than I do already. It's not bad. It's not bad. It's awesome, you fuckwit. Sorry, let's try that again. A decent life until he began hearing voices in his bedroom late at night. Then a bright blue light manifests from within his closet, and he is drawn to it, mystified by its beauty. He walks through the light and into a world of darkness and emptiness, where he learns of a fabled shadow god, an entity that wants him dead. Murders spring... Okay. The getting louder thing was just getting annoying. Murders spring up in the neighborhood, and the local detective is quick to put the blame on Craig and his friends. Though through Craig's sinister encounters with the Shadow God and his constant run-in with the law, he discovers he is part of something great, a reincarnation, maybe, that takes him back to the first murder of the world. Why is there maybe in there? It's like he discovers he is part of something great. A reincarnation, maybe. It's like, hey, it's a reincarnation. Why would you put that there? That's stupid. Okay. And it's a mini biography and this picture of this Rayburn, this Aaron Rayburn. Wow, he looks like a real douche. It's like I'm very serious. Look at me. I'm a serious author with my backwards cap and my bling around my bling chain around my shoulders. And oh look, I'm posing next to like a statue of a Satan or whatever. I don't know. I mean, whatever works for you, man. Whatever works for you. Awesome. Aaron Rayburn loves to scare people, which is his outlet to reality, and he does so by writing stories. Although this is his first novel, he says there will be more to look forward to from him in the future. Great. He also says that he owes a great deal of gratitude to the devil for filling his mind with such horrific images. Mr. Rayburn currently resides somewhere along the Ohio River, where he is at work on his second novel. Cool. That's nice. That's cool. Okay. All right. Now let's hopefully I can find several pages that are good. Several pages in a row would be great. Not skipping around the text for a bit. Oh God. Okay, this looks good. We'll start from page 399, which is apparently a new chapter called Showdown in the Sanctuary. So we'll try from there. The church, Todd exclaimed in a raspy voice. Oh, sorry. The church, Todd exclaimed in a raspy voice. No fucking way! Shh! Craig pushed the door open further and peeped in on the church, which was in full session, just as he suspected it would be. The Day of Awakening. It's happening. Craig and Todd stared out into an entire congregation sitting in red-cushioned pews. It seemed that every person from town was there, every available spot filled. Every head of the congregation was facing the two men up front who were wearing thick black cloaks. Craig recognized the man standing directly behind the podium as Father Spears, but couldn't distinguish who the other man was. He had thought he had seen him somewhere before, maybe in his unconscious visions. And just behind the two men was the biggest oval mirror Craig or Todd had ever laid eyes on. Its frame was lined in shining gold. Craig wondered what its purpose was. Suddenly, the mirror's dark reflection of the church's marble ceiling lit up a bright blue. Spears took immediate notice of Craig's and Todd's presence. He smiled gleefully at them. "Oh my God," said Todd, seeing Spears' radiating smile. The congregation turned to stare at the boys, each of their faces a waxen white. Their eyes were black dots punched far back into their skulls. Their foreheads protruded far from their black, bushy brows. Their expressions were brain dead. Their appearances were heavily distorted, just as Mark's was. They weren't the people of the town anymore. They were people, soldiers, Spears had created. His own army for the day. Soon he'll turn them against us, just as he did with the skeletons. Craig's mind went rampant as he spotted Ginny Cook near the front. Even though her features were stretched to disfigurement, he was still able to catch a few familiar traits as he did with a few of the other blah 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 blah. Let's try the sentence again. Even though her features were stretched to disfigurement, he was still able to catch a few familiar traits as he did with a few of the other people in the congregation. He saw fellows he had gone to high school with, a couple of his old teachers, grocers, bankers, a few cops. His mind instantly fled to Roger Eubanks, but then quickly dismissed what he and Todd had done to him. He stared, horrified, at all the people Spears had brainwashed before reverting his own gaze upon Spears. Spears began to chuckle. Craig held his regnant position. Regnant position? Okay, right.
I see you finally managed to join us, said Spears. We were actually kind of waiting. Kinda? Okay. All right. We were actually kind of waiting for you. Again, Craig scanned the body of people, innocent people whom Spears had undoubtedly manipulated into his own kind. Spears looked past Craig to Todd. I see even you made the trip, young Todd.
You fucking faggot! Oh, sorry. No, that was not in the text at all. It's actually, you cocksucking faggot! You killed my parents! Todd shouted, brushing against Craig's restraining hand. I've told everyone else that you're evil! I've even told them you're a werewolf! Spears' eyes rose upward in surprise.
I did not kill your parents, young Todd.
He held his arm out toward his zombie-brained congregate. Okay. He held his arm out towards his zombie-brained congregation. Two individuals turned, their features closely resembling that of Josh and Stacy Harris, though their heads were still deformed like the rest of the congregation, and I thought the congregation had already turned towards them in the first place. That's what we said in a page before, but I guess some people weren't turning towards them because, for dramatic purposes, some people weren't turning towards Craig and Todd. But I guess, if they weren't turning towards them, then Craig should have noticed that, but I guess he didn't until right now when they did turn towards him. Okay, let's just keep going. A female opened its mouth. What are you doing, young man? It mimicked Stacy's voice. Todd began to shake, his eyes wide and watering. Mom? Craig shook him. Todd, that's not your mom, and that's not your dad. They're dead, remember? You saw them. Craig saw that Todd was barely paying attention to him. You come up right here! You come up here right now, young man! Blurted Stacy's voice. You'd better not embarrass me in front of all these people! Craig started forward, his head hung low. Craig snatched him by the collar, spun him around, and slapped him in his face. Slapped his face. Just slapped his face. Doesn't have to be slapped him in the face, he just slapped his face. Todd stood frozen, shocked. Craig's hand imprinted on his cheek. Craig's hand imprinted on his cheek. That's, No, sorry, I shouldn't laugh. Even though it's kind of bad. Craig pointed toward the thing, mimicking Todd's parents. Those things are not your fucking parents! He continued to shake him, as if driving the point home. So, is it as if, or that he is driving the point home? Why would it be as if? What? Is he doing it to drive the point home, or isn't he? That's the thing. Craig would have been shaking him to drive the point home. It doesn't need to be as if. He is shaking him to drive the point home. Okay. Keep going. Spears and Ridley chuckled a deep, resonant croak. How do you chuckle a deep, resonant croak? Like that? I don't know. Craig appeared. Sorry. Let's keep going. Craig looked beside the Harrises and saw his mother looking back at him. She appeared as she did the last time he saw her alive. She was sobbing. Craig, she moaned, why do you do the things you do? All I ever wanted from you was for you to turn out noble. I wanted it. Christy wanted it. Oh. Christy, how he had missed her. He'd longed for her touch. Spending the last week without her soft skin, her vibrant personality felt like a giant gaping hole in his world. There was a soft whisper in it. Up. Try that one again. There was a soft whisper in his ear. Craig, she's not real. It was Todd, telling him the same thing he told him moments earlier. He snapped out of his funk and peered menacingly at Spears and Ridley.
Send them away, Spears. They're not real.
Don't send me away, Craig, begged Susan. Your father and I love you so much. If you send me away, we won't get to be that family we've always dreamed about. Craig clenched his fists and screamed.
Send them away,
he bellowed. Spears held out his cloaked arms.
As you wish.
Josh, Stacy, and Susan disintegrated in a plume of fire, disappearing. Try that one again. Josh, Stacy, and Susan disintegrated in a plume of fire, disappearing within a second. Don't forget to put the D's at the end of sentences, Edwin. Todd was bent over crying. Craig patted him lightly on the back, keeping his eyes peeled on Spears. His eyes peeled on Spears? Normally when you say keep your eyes peeled, it means looking out for unseen dangers. So you're keeping your eyes peeled because you're trying to see if there's unseen dangers. You don't know whether there's danger about. You're just keeping your eyes peeled to make sure that there isn't any danger in the first place. Whereas Spears, I think, already counts as danger, so you can't keep your eyes peeled for a danger that is already there. Just saying. It's like he's just taking phrases out of he's heard other people say and just put them into his book without really understanding how they work. It's fascinating. It's really, really horribly fascinating. And he got his book published too. That's impressive.
As you know,
said Spears, clasping his hands together into the sleeves of his purple cloak.
Today is the day of
awakening, Craig finished for him. Spears bowed again.
Very good, Craig. Very good indeed. Or shall I call you Abel?
I already know all about that, said Craig, and I can tell you that the Shadow God is not coming through that portal. He guessed that was what the mirror was for. Why is that in parentheses? Why are there brackets around that? It's like he guessed that was what the mirror was for. I mean, is it supposed to be like that? He guessed that was what the mirror was for. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I just write the book, Craig might have guessed it, but I haven't. I'm just the author. I'm Aaron Rayburn, and I don't understand what is going through Craig's mind right now. I mean, I'm just writing this down as it happens in my head infused with the images of Satan. Oh, hail Satan! Hail, hail, hail! Hail! Why the brackets? Why are there brackets? Brackets, Aaron Rayburn? Why are there brackets there? Why? Okay. we are just going to keep going on, shall we? Wait, how much longer can I go with this? I can go for the next 2 pages, I think. Yeah, 2 pages. Yeah, let's do that. Let's go for the next 2 pages or so. Spears recoiled. Spears recoiled as if in surprise.
Oh, and what makes you so sure?
Because only I can stop him. Spears steepled his fingers together beneath his fabric. He looked towards Ridley and then back to Craig.
What would you say if I told you that the ceremony is already over and Cain, your brother, is already part of this world?
No, said Todd behind Craig's ear. Craig shook his head, watching the blue light dance through the confines of the mirror behind Spears.
I'd say you would be a lying piece of shit.
Every member of the congregation gasped.
After all, you are late, and it's well past 1:48.
They were setting him up, Craig realized. If Spears was telling the truth, he was going to need definite proof. I'm trying to figure out who said that line. After all, you are late and it's well past 1:48. I'm assuming that's Craig, but it's the paragraph breaks make it a little bit difficult to determine who's saying what at this point. We'll try that again. Yeah. From,
After all, you are late and it's well past 1:48.
They were setting him up, Craig realized. If Spears was telling the truth, he was going to need definite proof. No. After all, you are late and it's well past 1:48. That, I think Spears said that. Well done. Well done, Aaron Rayburn. You could have just put, and then Spears said, or something like that. But no, you just, because if you don't say who said something, I'm just going to assume that the last person who said something said the next thing that is being said in the quotation marks. But which is the logical thing for anybody to do. But I guess, you didn't think about that.
After all, you are late, and it's well past 1:48.
They were setting him up, Craig realized. If Spears was telling the truth, he was going to need definite proof.
Show me then, where is he?
Very well, Spears said, bowing. He waved his cloak right arm towards the corner of the church, into the shadows, where apparently someone has been waiting all this time to make his dramatic entrance. Yeah, I love it when people who, just have never. It's a little bit funny and embarrassing at the same time. I'm squirming on the inside for this guy, but at the same time, it's kind of hilarious. Craig positioned his body toward the eerie darkness and nervously waited for something sinister to jump out at him, like in the movies that he saw, where like there's shadows everywhere, and then like there's a sinister thing in the shadows, and then something jumps out at them when the guy in the cloak points it out. Yeah! Please don't bring... Oh, God. I have to keep reading. This has to continue until the end, but it hurts my soul. And positioned his body? I mean, what, did he need to, like, move a couple of steps left or right? Is he so fat that he can't rotate on the spot without, like, going, gotta move around a bit? Oh, wait, sorry. Maybe he's actually in a wheelchair. I didn't know that. Sorry, I'm being very, very insensitive to Craig right now. So Craig is repositioning his body because he's in a wheelchair. So it's just going, and obviously he has to move because it's a wheelchair. You can't just turn around the spot. You have to like back up a bit and go forward to the right a bit and back to the left a bit until you're turned around. towards the corner. And which corner would it be? I'm guessing it would be the far corner, like, or something like that. That would make more sense. Otherwise, why would he reposition his body? Because, why would he do that? It would make less sense if it was towards the front of the church where they were staring already towards spears, or something. I don't know. Okay, let's keep going. A shapely figure with long, flowing blonde hair slowly emerged. In the next instant, her face illuminated from the gloom with a bright white smile upon her lips. Bright white smile? Bright white smile? I guess because she's got teeth, because she's giving an open mouth smile with the teeth, Okay, keep going. It was Christy. Craig's breath caught in his throat. His heart fluttered, and as Christy smiled at him, he melted. Christy, he said softly, almost tenderly. Craig, she said, I've missed you so much. Her arms opened wide, and Craig fled to them, embracing her in utmost delight. Tears spilled down his cheeks as memories came flooding back to him. Her warmth and her smell enticed him. Oh, how he had missed her! Craig, they've taken me away from you, cried Christy. I didn't think I'd ever see you again. I was so scared. Craig hugged her tighter, holding the back of her smooth head. That's really tender. That's an amazing tender language, like holding the back of her smooth. Oh, you almost had a scene there. You didn't really. I mean, it became melodramatic as soon as it became like tears spilled down his cheeks as memories came flooding back to him. It's been a week. You idiot. You can't survive a week without your girlfriend. God, get away from me, you pussy. Okay. Get back to it. Craig hugged her tighter, holding the back of her smooth head. His fingers intertwined through her long, golden hair. It's going to be all right, he soothed. I'm here now, and I promise you'll never leave my sight again. He could feel the hot tears from Christy's cheek on his own. He could only imagine what those bastards had done to her. Where are your folks? He asked. Christy pointed towards the front of the congregation, which was the exact spot where Todd's parents were superimposed. Craig let go of Christy and backed up a step. A force tugged him from behind. It was Todd. How many times do I have to tell you she's not real? Said Todd. I've been yelling at you. Craig did not hear him. He realized he was caught up in the moment. Those are not your parents, he said. Christy's soft, beautiful face wrinkled in confusion. She turned to look and waved. Yes, they are, she said. And I made Christy sound exactly like Craig. Let's try that again. Yes, they are, she said. Craig looked again at Christy's so-called parents. They had the same look as everyone else in the sanctuary. What's wrong with them? He asked. What's wrong with everybody? Although he already knew the answer, he wanted to hear it from Christy's mouth. Christy smiled. Why, they're all waiting for the most wonderful thing to happen to them, she said cheerily, almost dreamily. And wasn't she panicking before about how things were going horrible? I mean, like, just on a previous page, she just said, Craig, they've taken me away from you. I didn't think I'd see you again. I was so scared. And And now she's okay again because they're all waiting for the most wonderful thing to happen to them. I guess, she's afraid that Craig wouldn't share in the wonderfulness that was going to happen to them where they all turned into skull creatures or with like huge monobrows or whatever the fuck is happening right now. I don't know. I don't give a fuck. I guess that's the situation right now. But why go to the trouble of that? Why go to the trouble of... Just stop thinking about it, Edwin. Just stop thinking about it and just read the last of this paragraph and we can be done for the day. Craig stared into her deep blue eyes. There was a flicker. He thought again of the night he had almost hit her in the road. He could remember the look in her face before he cut the steering wheel. Although he did not know it was her, he saw a face that scared him. A face of a monster. He wanted to forget it, but couldn't.
Why don't you go home and wait until all of this is over? He suggested. I'd feel much better if you did.
I can't, said Christy, embracing him again. This is what we've all been waiting for. I just can't miss it for the world.
The day of awakening? Craig asked. How do you know?
How could I not? How could you not know? Christy asked. It's been the talk of the town for the last several months.
Craig wondered why he hadn't heard of it until recently, until he began seeing the blue light for the first time. Have you been to the dark world? He asked, measuring her suspiciously. I guess that's when you take out a tape measure and it's like, instead of like in centimeters or millimeters or feet and inches, it's like a level of suspicion, like, like, are you this suspicious? Are you that suspicious? Just level of suspiciousness on a huge measuring tape against her. One last sentence. What's that? She asked, her look of confusion genuine. And that's it. If you want to read more, if you want to read more, you'd actually have to buy the book. I think I'm satisfied with what I saw in front of me. That's cool. Unfortunately, I didn't read some of the wilder parts in the book, the more silly parts. That was okay silly, but there are some actual really super awesome silly stuff in there, and I chose the wrong pages. That's what I get for something which actually starts in an actual chapter. Yeah, that was The Shadow God by Aaron Rayburn. I hope you have enjoyed me reading that horrible thing. Stick around. Stay tuned. It's not stick around because there won't be anything for the next 24 hours. Stay tuned until tomorrow. I guess you can't. Yeah, whatever. We'll be going on with more of this bad novel week or horrible examples of English literature week. And day 52 is tomorrow. So hope you stick around for that. Thank you.